5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 21. 21. 21 fell on.
Yeah, Michu said before it was just me and her. Now look what's happened.
Like a whole bunch of rats.
like bunny rabbits. This is Opium getting ready to go in Hampton on a snowy day in Tennessee. And Opium, she always loves to come and sit with me when I'm at the bus. She always loves it. Come sit with me. She's a great kid. Yeah, it's warming up a bit. Some of the ice is melting. We're headed into Halls, Tennessee. Blaine, Rutledge, and up to Kingsport. Well, Hampton's up in Halls, hidden in a forest, and we ran out of gas in the parking lot up here in Bethel, Tennessee. And so Karma Cole at the Crystal Mirror in Salem sent us some money for diesel, and we really appreciate that. She's been a good supporter of the Ride for Freedom, and so we just like to say thank you in this video. Okay, it's about midnight. I'm not sure what date it is. Let me look. See here. It's midnight on, almost midnight on Tuesday, the 12th of January. And we are in Halls, Tennessee, small crossroads town in Tennessee, and there was this book that was being made on folklore in America, okay, and they were asking for entries from all kinds of different ethnic groups in America about their folklore, okay. So I saw the posting for it, so I wrote in and asked if I could do an article on Aka, okay, the Akas that are in America. And there's 3 kinds of Akas in America. There's Akas who were stolen as children. There's a lot of them in America, probably a couple hundred. There's Akas who've come in married who are Christian Aka, and then there's traditional Aka. Now there's a couple Christian Aka, that's all there is, and they don't practice any of their traditional ceremonies, all right? And the only traditional Aka people in the United States are Michu and her kids, okay? And whatever I help facilitate with, but it's Michu and her kids. They're the only people in America that practice any traditional Aka ceremonies in America, right? So I was asked to write an article, 1,500 words, and then it got cut down to 500 words. And so I asked to write an article, and they said, well, they sent it in. I wrote this real short article for the book, and I sent it in, and they sent it back and said, we need more detail about a specific ceremony or 2 examples. Well, that makes it a lot longer. So anyway, I talked to Michu, and we went over the details of a couple ceremonies, and we wrote that into the article, okay? And sent it back in, and they said, well, the editors have never heard of the Aka people in America. They never heard of the Aka people before, and they want to know why they do these ceremonies. And it's like, have a Navajo explain to you why they do their ceremonies, or a Pygmy. I don't know. That's who they are. That's what they do the ceremonies for. It's because it's what they believe, and it's their culture and their traditions and the ceremonies and rituals that they have that they do. Well, anyway, so we said, well, this is what they've always done, and they do it because it's part of their theology, like an Aka environmental theology, that your rice and your food that you grow in the jungle around your village, the place you live, that it's all interconnected and in harmony, right? And you mess it up and you're going to starve to death, right? So anyway, I made those notations and I sent it back, and they said, oh, by the way, what's the highest level of your academics? And I said, well, I haven't finished my bachelor's degree. I got like a year and a half left to do or something like that, right? Here's the article. And then the editor said, well, we're gonna scrap the entry. We're not gonna have anything in here about the AUKUS. They said, we're sorry because, you know, underrepresented groups and stuff, we're trying to help them out. But most of the people writing these articles have PhDs. And it's like, wait a minute, I missed something here. Is this about the ethnic minorities in America or the PhD people who want to write about them? Because Michu doesn't have her PhD. And there's no AUKA who's born with a PhD. Most AUKAs have partial educations in the Western sense of the word. They have a whole lot of education when it comes to reading people and the environment and farming and all of that. But in the Western sense, they don't have a lot of education, right? Like PhDs, okay? And so is it about their folklore, or is it about someone having a PhD and having the privilege to write about their folklore, like an object to be studied, an object of interest? That's a very different thing. If you want to write about people and their folklore, and you want to include them like in a census, like in a complete collection of the people that are here in America and what they do, then edit the article and print it. But don't say, well, because, you know, the implication was, well, you're not a PhD, so, you know, sorry, but this is not going to look good having you writing an article about the AUKA in a book that's all written by people with PhDs, which they never said at the beginning. You need to have a PhD to write exclusively for this exclusive book about minority people and folklore in America. And they've just outranked themselves from what it would seem that it's supposed to be about. It's opportunity for people to pick up the book and open it up and read about people who are here in America that they never heard about, and find out what makes them unique and different than other people that are here in America. So it's once again appears to be that the arrogance of academia, you know, like, you know, I've dealt with Kemmer and Ingela Hansen and Paul Lewis and Leo, you know, was always about their academic brains and how important knowledge was that it came through them. You know, it was never about the AUKA, and that's the feel I'm getting again. And I'm starting to get a sense of disgust for academia because they're gods unto themselves. The people, AUKA people and their souls and what makes them who they are cease to be important. It's all about the degree and getting published. That's what it's all about. So anyway, if you want to know something about the AUKA that you don't know, come and ask me. If I don't know, I can send you to somebody else. But you probably won't find it in this book on folklore because we didn't all have PhDs.